Hello friend, welcome to Android Chess, written in Kotlin program language. This is Golden Thumb. In one of our previous videos, we introduced that to run the socket server on this Android simulator or emulator, we need actual config to map, to redirect a host pod to a guest pod. Okay, so that's why if we want to debug the socket server on this Android emulator, we need to listen to a guest pod instead of, and the client on the other end of the socket will connect to the host pod. Okay, so where is our main activity? So where is the, you see this pod is actually the guest pod. Our host pod is 50,000. So in this video we'll try to detect whether this app is executed on an emulator or a real device. On real device, we just use this. Okay, this is the host pod, our socket client connects to. But if we are running it on the emulator, this guy on the left, we have to use a different pod, and we'll use the console of the emulator to redirect this the host pod to this guest pod. So we want to make our app automatically detect, if it's an emulator, then we'll use this, otherwise we'll use this. Okay, so the way to detect that is using something. If you Google this topic, you cannot get a satisfied answer, 100% satisfied. There's no standard answer for this one, and there are some good suggestions. We'll use one of them, and you can test that. If it doesn't work, you can use different options, but this one works for me. Define the private value isEmulator equals build. This is a popular suggestion on the internet. .fingerprint.contains generic. Okay, I don't know why it's that, but it works for me. If I test that on the emulator, you'll see shortly it returns true. And if I load the code on my Samsung, what is this guy? Samsung SM A500W, then it returns false. Okay, so let's give a try, and I can put the code here. Let's log it, .d tag, like that, isEmulator. Now let's try on the emulator first. Okay, so run it, and let's bring up the cat. Run it. We need to switch this one to emulator. Yeah, see, true, right? Let's try it again. Run again. Okay, now let's clear this and stop that and switch to my Samsung device. So if it works as expected, right? It will output false because it's not a emulator. Okay, now let me try. Oh, we need to switch this to, I don't know why it's not automatically switched when I select the debugging device. Okay, is it still loading here? Still, yeah, install. You see here the spinning GUI. Launching activity. Oh, yeah, you see? False, right? Okay, great. So we can use this flag to make our code dynamic. So it shouldn't be hard coded like that. And so we can put the default one here. And oh, by the way, there's a complaint here. Can we fix that? There's, you see the, what is the complaint? Rename. Why isn't it happy? What is the complaint? Does not match. Oh, lowercase. Okay, so let's rename this to lowercase. Where's the rename factor? Rename. Okay, server port. Okay, socket server port. Socket port. Okay, let's use that. And there's a host here. Let's also define a constant for that. Socket host. I don't need that. What is that? By default, oh, let's use a better one for the local host. Okay, so socket host, and replace this guy here. Let's clean up that one. Connect to address. I think we'd better use this guy. Socket host at socket port, right? Socket client connect to, oh no, connecting, yeah, we don't need that. It's for the client. So socket host, yeah, we can put that here. Later on we'll use like a pop-up dialog to let the user input those things, but for this video we'll focus on the server. Listening on, yeah, here we can use the socket port. Yeah, listening on socket port. And now we'll change this to wow, so we can change it. isEmulator. Okay, so here we can use oh, socket port. Okay, let's define another socket port. We can have two values like socket host pod, okay, and socket guest pod. Rename that to socket pod. Never mind. We can use a different name for the guest. Don't guest pod. This one is that used for socket server on emulator. Okay, we'll use this. So now socket pod, listening on socket pod. Well, it's our server code here, listening on, yeah, this guy. So we can put an if here. If is emulator, then we have to use, yeah, socket pod. Otherwise we use socket guest pod, right? And can we test it now? So let's try. Oh, now we can use the a client tool we developed on iOS, right? We can use that to test our socket server on Android. Okay, so that is in Xcode, this guy. So if we run it, right here, we can test any socket server. Now let's run our socket server on the Samsung device. Okay, run it. Oh, by the way, the IP address of my Samsung device is 192.168.0.42. Yeah, we can check that in settings and the active Wi-Fi. Okay, so I'll click the listen button to bring up the socket server there. Okay, socket server listening on. Yeah, very good. Now let's connect. So this one we have to put the IP address there, pointing to my Samsung Android device. 42 is its IP address. Yeah, this is our host port, right? Connect. Oh, okay, I made a mistake here. If it's emulator, we need to, yeah, it's the opposite, right? So I think we'd better take out this logic because we need that for the log. So cut and put it here. Value port equals that. If it's emulator, right, we have to use the guest one. Yeah, and otherwise we use the normal one. Okay, now we can put the port here. Yeah, no port, right? So this time is correct. Let's try it again. Run it on my device. And while we're waiting, we can reset this one. Reset to get it ready to connect to the socket server. We can also clear. Oh, here, yeah, false. Now let me click the listen button on the Android chess. Listen, okay. Socket server listening on port. Yeah, okay. Now connect. Its IP address is correct. 192.168.0.42. Okay, this is the host port. That's it. Because we are running on the device, so we don't need to use the guest port. Okay, connect. Okay, now let's make a move. Yes, it works. Now I'll move a black knight from my Android device Samsung. Yeah, here, right? It works. Now let's stop it, and this time socket closed, reset. Okay, let's switch to emulator. So here, let's select this emulator. Where is it? This guy, and the output UIKit emulator. Let's run it. Oh, because we need actual setting to the Android console, so let's do that in the next video. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time.